Well, it was in my childhood days. Oh Lord, many long years ago.
That's a photo of me when I was a baby. That's me.
And who's the other one?
It's my mama's son. Back then, the midwife did the deliveries, you know. So my mother's midwife was a lady that they call Miss Mother Stanley. And they were the Owenses. And it was from this is like the first store I can remember going to, I guess, because we could run down here, you know, you get little cookies, candies, but they had everything in there, you know, meats and all kinds of vegetables and stuff. It was a full grocery store back in that area, back in that time frame. I attended school in that church,
Right
in
there?
the basement, 1 year. I don't know how we were selected, maybe because we were in this area. But at the time, I was living down on 7th Court, but I went to school over here rather than up at Glenwood School. Okay, now this was, there was a bar that was on this corner right here. I told you that my mother and my father, they had 2 children, and my mother was about 40 whenever she started having children again, and she had 3. And so my sister and my brother were aged like 20 and 22 years older than I am. This was a grocery store that was on the corner right here. This was Sori's grocery store. And then they started, Sori died, they started putting apartments and what have you. The Iceman lived in this house right here, 1124. It was where the Iceman lived. He used to bring us ice every other day. And right here on this corner right here, there was a Motel Neota. That was a black motel.
Motel Neota.
Neota. Yeah. Okay. And this was always the recreation center. It looks a lot better than it did back when I was a child. My mother's mother.
What is her name?
Ada Allen. Okay. We came along like 20 years later, and that was a long time. And after I got older, you know, I sort of questioned because of our living circumstances. You know, I don't know how they survived because it was very difficult for us. I have 5 children. And well, actually, I have to count that I have 7. I gave birth to 5, and I adopted 2. The 2 that I adopted were my grandchildren. And that was a boy and a girl, so that gave me 7. But from my first marriage, I had 5 children, 3 boys and 2 girls. That probably the marriage probably lasted about 8 years. And out of 8 years, I had 5 children. So, you know, birth control was not one of those things back then. But anyway, I didn't get any help. I asked, but, you know, birth control didn't start until about the time that I was having the last one. I think they had started putting ladies on the pill. The street came out to right here, and my mother and the person here and the person, 2 people across the street, across the water there, the bayou, each they divided the street in half. This lady got half of the street, my mother got half of the street along with her lot, right? Nobody ever built anything on this street. I mean, right in this area right here. 2 families lived right there. That was the Stanleys and the Hutsvits that lived there. And right on the corner was Dr. Buford's office. He was a black doctor that came to town, and that's where he built his office. This was a grocery store. It was a white owner, Hill's Grocery and what have you. And so he carried you know, like little running bills, and he had rent houses and what have you out here, and they lived upstairs. 1940. In fact, I was born March 27th. I have a birthday coming up on Thursday. I think it is. Yeah. It'll be my 74th. And like I was telling you, I said, I'm not as old as some of the people there. It was right there. Was a dry cleaner. Like years and years and years ago. And back then they had pick up and delivery service. They would come to your home and pick up. And it was black owned. Most of these businesses along here most of the area was black business. This is my pen.
What is it?
See, this is just a pen.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna demonstrate it?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna show you.
Okay.
It's a motorized wheelchair for the caregiver. If you get outside and you on a ramp or something where you really gotta push, you know, to get a person up a ramp, then you know you just do it with all the ease in the world. with deaths, the memories and all of the historical facts go with them, right? So if you don't record them, then you miss a lot later on, and there's no one to go back and call them, you know. So I started, at first I didn't keep records very well, and I still don't keep them as well as I should, but I did start trying to store some of the facts from our lives, you know, so that my children could get to them. I can remember my father bringing me out across from the house over to this street and then showing me, pointing out the schools. I said, it was almost as though the school was like right in the middle of the street, but he said, just keep walking and then you'll get to the school. And I was scared because I was just a little kid, you know, but I finally got the hang of it.